Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As usual, I am your host, sellssi. 25 days to the World Cup in Qatar, and Ghana yet to release our provisional list. 55-man squad is the maximum allowed by FIFA at this point in time. Other countries in our group, most especially, have released their squad: Uruguay and Portugal. The Black Stars we're still awaiting. But I have some updates on some nationality switches which are yet to happen. And the latest is on Hudson Odoi. Yes, I brought the story to you last time out that he could be in Odoi's squad for the Qatar 2022 list, the provisional one at that, and that the nationality switch issues were still being sorted out. Now, Hudson Odoi himself has broken his silence on the nationality switch. We'll hear what he has to say. Inaki Williams at Atletico Bilbao will get a salary cut of 35%. We'll look at the reason why, and also we'll hear from Charles Taylor, who made an interesting comment on the term local player, as well as thoughts on who should be the #1 goalkeeper. Joojo Wollacott has been backed by a former player. We'll have a look at all that today. As usual, subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates. So Hudson Odoi is one of the players that Ghana is expecting to join us in Qatar. Reports, according to the last time I brought you, were that he would be able to make the switch in time. But he himself has commented on the matter at hand. And from what he said and what I'm going to read to you here, it's not looking optimistic and positive for me. Probably it might not be done in time. Now, the on-loan Chelsea forward Hudson Odoi remained tight-lipped after he was asked whether he would represent Ghana in the future. He has already played three games for England, but the new FIFA rules mean that those appearances happen before a player is 21, which in the case of Hudson Odoi, he can switch allegiance. Asked if talks had taken place between Ghana and him, Hudson Odoi told BBC Sports Africa, "Nothing I would say at the moment on camera. I would love to tell you, but I couldn't say." Interesting.
The Ghana-England situation has always been on my mind since obviously a while ago. So I think right now it was more of the focus of coming here and playing my football. I'm trying to go farther, so I gotta go harder. Nothing I would say on the camera, like I would love to tell you, but I couldn't say. I think at the moment it's just more me being here and being in the club and just working the best I can to do what I can here. And as I said, you never know what happens in the future.
But I think right now it's more of the focus of coming here, talking about Bayer Leverkusen, really getting myself back into shape, playing a lot of games and just feeling like myself. Right now my mind is just open. Ghana are paired in Group H with Portugal, South Korea, open their campaign on 24th November there. So still remaining coy. It's not optimistic. Nothing he would say on camera. He's being tight-lipped about it. We'll see what happens. But the rumors that were making the rounds were that he was not in the provisional list. Others at the start of the week, that was last week, said he was in it. Then later on in the week, it was said that he's not in it. Well, it all be resolved once the official list comes out, which is not yet the case. And as I said, it's not obligated by the FA to bring out the provisional list. Mind you, not all 32 countries have brought out a provisional list, and they have submitted it to FIFA, but not obligated to make it public and official. Some will not provide a provisional list and just provide the final list by November 10th. So it's not something that probably will hear anything on the front of the FA. And when it comes to the option of having to release the squad before the time that they are supposed to, they tend to go with not releasing it until they are obligated to. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Hudson Odoi. But you heard him there. It's a situation he's not focusing on now. He cannot tell us, and we hope eventually we do hear something, at least in a positive sense, on that. My next story has to do with Atletico Bilbao and Inaki Williams, who is set for a salary reduction. Now, the Spanish side, Bilbao, expected to offer Ghana player Inaki Williams a 35% salary reduction. As the Spanish outfit is limited due to financial constraint of the club. And now Williams' current contract with the Basque will elapse in the summer of 2028. But the Ghanaian can only finish off his contract if he agrees for a pay cut. And now it's been learned that the Athletic Bilbao president will consider lowering the Ghana international's release clause to aid his transfer from the club as well, if he refuses to accept the salary reduction. Interesting. The Bilbao boss could consider lowering the forward's release clause to 30 million in order to ensure an affordable price for the Premier League clubs who are interested. The Ghana forward currently has 135 million euros release clause. A 28-year-old receives 7 million euros a year, which is an ordeal for Athletics' battered coffers. And now Inaki Williams has been in top form for the Basque, scoring 4 goals this season and providing 1 assist in the process. So he said for salary cuts, the finances of the club are not sound, and it's something that he should consider, else his release clause will be lowered and they will have to ship him out to reduce the financial burden on the club. Unfortunate news there on the front of Inaki Williams. And talking about who our goalkeeper should be in Qatar, ex-Ghana star Joojo has said that Joojo Wollacott is the right man to be imposed for Ghana at the World Cup. Now, the ex-Ghana goalie Joojo says England-based goalkeeper Wollacott is the right man to be imposed for Ghana at the World Cup. I know a lot of you have a lot of differences with Wollacott being in there. And newsflash, Ofori is back in training, by the way. He suffered an injury, but he is back in training. Now, the former Black Stars goalkeeper wants Black Stars coach Otto to maintain Wollacott as the first choice in goal for the Black Stars at the World Cup. He thinks the English League One side Charlton Athletic goalkeeper has done enough to be Ghana's first choice since his debut in October. Among the goalkeepers, Joojo has kept more matches for the national team in recent times, so I believe he's the right man to be imposed for Ghana at the World Cup. We cannot use any other goalkeeper to try and error's sake in the absence of Wollacott. Richard Ofori should be imposed. I remember Ofori was our number 1, but he has missed out at the moment. So ideally, Ofori should serve as the backup goalkeeper to Wollacott. Interesting one there from Joojo, who feels that Joojo has played enough and we do not have the time to be doing try and error. He feels that Joojo should be imposed. What do you think about that? I know some of you are not in agreement. You'll be happy to know that Richard Ofori is back in training in that respect. I'll end with the comments of Charles Taylor, which I resonate with so much here. He talks about how we label some players who play in the Ghana Premier League as local players, and that sort of local player tag does not go well. Speaking on Angel FM, he argued that the term has a negative implication on the mentality of the players. This is what he said: the term local player should be abolished. It has a negative effect on the players. They are all professional players. In Ghana, people think local rice is inferior to foreign. That's our mindset. Free Ebania is a professional player, not a local player, Charles Taylor said. The term local player literally means Ghana's professional footballers who ply their trade in the Ghana Premier League. And he feels that that tag is not something that helps the players mentally and helps them to perform. What do you think about what Charles Taylor said? Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of the week.